Simone TV, turn up, travel across the globe, so you know she know her stuff, 30 days to a better you, so you gotta read her book, go check out the show, never know how far she'll go, she can't do anything but grow, everything she has was meant, success makes her content, in her back taking pictures, she has the faith and she has strength, so like a poet, and you best believe that she wrote it, even when she was at her lowest, you already know she had to stay focused.
Hello everyone, welcome to Simone TV and I'm your host Simone. And today we have a special guest. I'm so excited. Her name is Nykats and she is going to talk to us about being focused. She's actually in school to be a doctor. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop talking. Nykats, come on out please. Welcome to Simone TV. We are glad to have you today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, Nykats, it's so glad to see you today. Share with our audience about being focused and what your journey has been. And let's start with high school. What did you major in? What kind of high school did you go to?
I went to Broad Ripple High School. It was a performing arts school at the time. And in high school, I studied being a singer. So I did vocal music.
Okay, you did vocal music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what is vocal music for our young people that we don't know what vocal music is? What is it?
So vocal music would be like being in the choir, singing. You would have private lessons, and you would also compete in a program called ISMA every year.
Okay, so what is ISMA and what does competition look like?
So ISMA, you would have two different separate competitions. One would be you would compete against other choirs from other high schools, so you would have certain songs that you would sing. And then the second part of ISMA is that you as an individual would have 3 songs that you would sing and you would compete against other students there.
All right. And so singing and competing and things like that, what were your goals since you're involved in this program? Because you said Broad Ripple is a performing arts school, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what were your goals?
My goals were just to do what I love doing. I had been singing since I was in the 1st grade, so it was really just keeping that talent alive. But I really realized that being in the medical field was something that I wanted to do. Okay.
And so what made you excited about the medical field? You singing? What you going to be? The singing doctor? What's going on?
So when I was in the 4th grade, I had a best friend. Her name was Mary.
You had a friend?
I did have a friend.
Does anybody have a friend? Somebody got a friend. I got a friend in Jesus. Who's your friend? All right, so you had a friend named Mary?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mary, she really liked helping people, and we would always talk about how we wanted to help people once we got older. And unfortunately, she died in a house fire in the 4th grade. So,
are you serious?
Yes, she did.
In the 4th grade?
Yes.
All right. So you're going to carry the torch?
Yes. It was a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
But I realized that I wanted to make sure that her dream stayed alive. So at her funeral, I made her a promise that I was going to carry out that dream for her.
Wow. And so where are we at in the dream? We graduate from high school. And we're still on hold that. And so we graduated from high school with honors?
I did.
Wow. And what was the major in high school?
Like I said, it was vocal music, so I got academic honors, and I was a part of the National Honor Society when I graduated from high school.
Okay. And so when you graduated from high school and you went to college, go ahead and tell the story.
So when I graduated from high school, probably about 3 months after I graduated, I learned that I was going to be having a baby.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so now, what was the response? Like, did that change your future? Like, what went on in your head? Like, oh, something is alive inside of me.
It altered my future just a little bit, not by much. I still knew that I wanted to be in the medical field. I had been accepted into 17 different colleges, and I had my heart set on going to California, Santa Cruz.
Okay.
And I had already accepted before I knew that I was going to be having this baby. So instead of going to California, where I had no support whatsoever, I decided that I was going to go to IUPUI, and that I was going to major in biology, and that by the time I graduated, I was going to go to med school.
Wow. So you didn't even let the unborn child set you back?
Absolutely not.
So did you like go in the summer and do an internship or something?
So that summer I did not.
Mhm.
It was really about just planning what my freshman year of college was going to look like, because
Mhm.
I was going to be considered a non-traditional student
Okay.
instead of a traditional student, because I didn't live in the dorms on
Okay.
campus.
All right, that makes sense. And then, like, were you nervous about going to school and going to be a mother all at the same time? Because what it sounds like is like you just kept it moving.
Yes, I mean, I was nervous a little bit, just because it was something that I didn't have much knowledge on.
Okay.
But I didn't want to let it set me back. My son is a blessing, and I love him so much. And he honestly, having him when I did, actually inspired me to want to continue more.
So he
towards
was
my
like
dream.
motivation, right?
Yes.
Because somebody was responsible.
Yes.
What I noticed about you is, like, you set goals, and once you set your goals, like, it's just a part of life. And so once you knew he was in the picture, you just made a plan for him.
Absolutely. I did have an advisor my freshman year of college tell me that because I was a non-traditional student and because I had my son, that I was not going to be as successful as some of the other students that were in the same program as me. And she honestly told me that I needed to change my major because I was not going to be as successful.
Well, she sounds like she was the wife of the advisor that told me to go home and work at McDonald's like some of the rest of my friends, that I wasn't going to graduate from college. And it's so insulting. And so I'm sitting there and I see he has a picture of his family. And so I said, "Is that your daughter?" He said, "Yes." I said, "How would you like it if your daughter was in college and some advisor advised her to go home and work at McDonald's? Like, how would that make you feel?" How did you feel when she told you that?
I felt defeated.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, even though I felt defeated, I took a couple of days to feel that feeling, and then I regrouped. And the spring semester
Mm-hmm.
of freshman year, while I was in labor, I was taking a test. And
Wow.
I passed that test
Mhm.
with an A.
Good for you. Good for you. Good for you.
And I made the dean's list that semester as well.
So what you're saying is, even though words are powerful, it's if we receive it or not. And for you, her words were powerless
Yes.
because they had nothing to do with the goals and the dreams that you had set for yourself.
Absolutely.
So what you're saying is, like, when people say things to us, we don't have to receive it.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so you took that and made it ammunition, as they call kitchen soup, those books,
Yes. Kitchen Soup for the Soul.
for the soul. So you took that and made that your ammunition. And tell us a little bit about the journey in starting college, having the son, in labor, making an A on the exam, and then how was it once he was here and you finishing your collegiate career?
So like I said earlier, my son is a blessing,
Mhm.
and I would often be holding him and feeding him and doing homework.
Wow. Okay.
And when I was not with him, I had a strong support system in my grandparents
Mhm.
and my mom.
Mhm.
And so they would watch him while I was at work, and then I would get him, and I would often be up until 3 a.m. making sure that I was studying harder than some of the other students that were in my class, specifically because I was non-traditional.
So you had a baby, you went to school,
Yes,
you had a job,
I did.
you got good grades, you studied, you kept setting more goals, and did you do any more internships?
I did. So I knew that I wanted to prove that advisor wrong.
Absolutely.
And I had already made the first step in making the dean's list, and she was no longer my advisor. I got a new advisor after that semester.
Mhm.
And so my sophomore year of college, I was looking for internships where I could have more experience in the medical field.
All right.
And I came across this program called the Atlantis Project.
Okay.
And it was an internship where you could go international and you could shadow different surgeons in different professions.
So are you telling me you're looking at a program and now you're getting ready to travel out of the country because your goal is to be a doctor, to pursue your dream?
Absolutely.
Didn't this take money?
It did. It did take money. I ended up having to raise a lot of money by going to a couple of people in the community and asking for donations.
Okay. And in your donations and what have you, so what type of donations did you get?
So my manager at the time at the job that I was working at, he donated $500 to me going to this program because he honestly believed in me. And my grandparents donated tons of money, and I had other people from the community donate money as well.
Okay. All right, so that is really great. I am excited about that. And you're such an overachiever. Have you already graduated at this point?
I have. I graduated in 2018.
Okay.
I have a Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology, and I have a minor in vocal music.
Wow, that is really good. You know, you are such an excellent guest. We have got to come back for part 2 in regards to your what you have going on in your life. And we want to know more about this son that you have and what's taking place and how you guys are adjusting and where you are on the journey. So we are definitely glad to have you here today. And what we're going to do, we thank you guys for coming to see us today. And what we're going to do is we're going to have part 2. So you guys are going to have to tune in to get the rest of Nykats' story. It's an awesome story that will inspire you and inspire your children. And thank you so much, and we'll finish out the rest on Simone TV at a later date.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming.
Simone TV, turn up, travel across the globe, so you know she know her stuff, 30 days to a better you, so you gotta read her